and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordish, joined by Superintendent Hime. It's a cold one today.
It is cold out there. It has been cold pretty much since Saturday afternoon.
But we're here.
Yes,
We're here.
I went south to see some grandkids this weekend, and we came back Sunday trying to make sure we beat if there was any ice, and it was like, okay, we left. It was about 40 degrees, and it seemed like every 30 minutes it just kept dropping. And by the time we got home, we were here, and it was about 6 degrees with the wind blowing, wind chill below zero. So hopefully everybody stayed warm over the break and enjoyed it. But we are back in school today, and a lot of things going on that we need to talk about.
Absolutely. And so let's just remind our families the reason for what we shared yesterday in regards to inclement weather and virtual options and in person, and why.
Well, you get into the twofold. We know we have some parents who need to go to work, and it's really difficult for them when we don't have school. Well, having school is not a safety issue. Our heaters work, except for you, Bish, had a problem. But, you know, we can serve food. We have adults here, so that's not a safety issue. When it's bad roads, it's a safety issue. In the same sense, we do realize that some parents live in areas where their kids are at bus stops, where they may walk, and they would just rather their kids not be subject to that and keep them home. So it's one thing that the COVID era, which led us to a lot of virtual education, really gives us that flexibility. And we've always talked about flexibility, giving our parents choices and options, and this is just one of them. So, you know, even tomorrow, the temperature is going to be 5 degrees in the morning, 0 chill, whatever. I mean, different. It's Oklahoma weather. It's subject to change every 15 minutes as far as the weather report. So parents have that choice. Do I want to send my child to school, or do I want to keep them home and call them in virtual or DVAP and get their work done? And we really strongly encourage our teachers to get work online, try to make contact, at least try to email back and forth with those kids. Besides the fact that, you know, big shout out to our teachers, because it does create somewhat of a burden for them because they end up instructing on 2 different platforms. So we try to simplify that as much as we can to continue with education and have an instructional day. So, you know, hopefully after tomorrow we get back to normal weather, and you know, they always say, well, we got to have one good freeze to kill the bugs. Well, we had it. We're good. We're good. Let's get some good weather. Now, I'm that one that I do not mind a good snow day every now and then when we get some really pretty snow on the ground and we get to enjoy it. But a snow day in 25 degrees, we're good. This sub-zero stuff, I grew up in Oklahoma. I don't, you know, those people from Minnesota and Massachusetts and places always say, oh, this is nothing. They're right, it's nothing, but that's why they probably moved here, is to get our weather. They didn't move here to have their weather, to get our weather. So, yeah, hopefully we're back to our normal weather pattern, and we don't have another one of these winter blasts before the end of the year. But as we know in Oklahoma, you know, winter ends on April 20th and summer begins on April 21st. There's really no, you know, we're the only state in the world that can have 4 seasons in one day.
Absolutely, that is true. Live there, been there, done that.
Always be available for the weather, and we know we always have lots of inclement weather here, whether it's, you know, threats of storms, you know, the bad roads, the freezing cold. So again, we do not tell our parents, and it's a great thing that the VAP or the virtual has given us, is for our parents to have that option anytime they need it to keep their child at home. Just please make sure your child logs on to Google or to Seesaw and gets their work and has an educational day.
And we do want them to call in, though. We do need to know.
We need to track it, and that helps us where we're just not know if your child's really absent or there. So please call in, yes.
And then Hugh Bish, fingers crossed, everything
that'll be all
is back.
fixed, but you know, it's kind of like, you know, the water line broke at the road town. At least it's no damage, except for, you know, if you have ice skates, my understanding is it's 3 or 4 inches thick. If they haven't got it cleared off, you can ice skate on the U-Bish parking lot right now that is pretty slick.
Right.
And obviously, kids coming to school, ice is hard, first of all, so when you fall on it, it causes injuries. Second of all, it just would have caused a lot of chaos with our cafeteria workers come in and our students drop off and pick up. The way it's set up, there's really not an alternative way to get people in and out. And plus the fire suppression system or the alarm was still going off. So there was a lot of issues there. Hopefully they're all fixed today, and we can get that school open tomorrow for those that need to come to school from UBish.
Absolutely. And now going on to our sports, we had a lot of things go on this weekend.
It's that time of the year. Yes. You know, you look up, and we'll be starting the playoffs in basketball and wrestling. So districts have started, which are relatively new in basketball. So our basketball teams are all in a district, so they'll have district play, which will determine their playoff seeding. So that's new, and those games start. I believe they start tonight. So I believe we have district games tonight, Friday. So the rest of the year we're going to have district games. So the games have meaning and importance as far as seeding. So some of our games are still on OSN. You have to
Yes.
check and see. We are working as a district to improve how many games we put online stream, so you can watch them even if they're not on OSN. So, hopefully we improve with that as we get where we can work with OSN to make sure more and more of our games are available for parents who just can't get out, or grandparents, and even our parents who live abroad or out of the state that can view the games.
Absolutely, because our media kids at the secondaries are active, and you'll see them. So give them a shout out and thank them for being there. But we're excited to grow that program.
Oh yes,
in partnership.
and they did a great job, like at the boat races. If you saw that, our media, I think those were middle school kids.
It was.
Actually ran the boat race media side, and you can see they did a great job as far as streaming that and getting that online for people to watch. And those are some things, again, create opportunities for students, and we're really excited that we did that. Wrestling's right there. They're starting districts and then they do their districts for dual state. So we'll look up and it'll be dual state, then it'll be state. So it's all kind of wrapping up. It's even kind of crazy when you think, because, January, this weather doesn't bring it, but it's the start of baseball, softball, soccer, track,
Tennis,
golf, all those spring sports. They start practicing now and they go full fledged. Something, and again, in a lot of those sports, we're really excited about our turf because, we can practice, except for this extreme cold. Really, we're not going to get out in the cold. But if it snows or rains or whatever, within days, instead of being out for a week or two off the muddy field, you're just out until the weather gets well. So we're excited about getting those into full-fledged, and when you look at those fields and the growth of what we're doing, if you drive by the fields, you can see some light poles in where they're going to put lights for those fields, in athletic fields. We're going to put in bleachers. The thing I'm the most excited about, and any day they'll go out for bid, is we're going to build 6 locker rooms at all 3 sites for girls. Girls are going to get first shot at it because, one thing I identified when I first got here was our locker room facilities for our girls were not where they should be. And so we're going to upgrade the locker room facilities at all 3 sites for girls athletics. And so we're excited about that.
Well, and being that I watched a couple weeks ago, the soccer game at MacArthur, it's just nice to see the kids at their school and enjoying that and sharing with their families what it is. So I can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, weather days like this puts us back, but if everything goes as it should, we should have lights, scoreboards up by the middle of February. Some of the bleachers will start going in 1st of March. We could host soccer games, actual varsity games on those sites. We could either bring in portable restrooms, but also the baseball and softball fields are right there where they could have access to the restrooms the fans use for those, where we could compete there. And we are excited about that because what the future holds is junior high, junior varsity football plays there. Maybe even they play a home game or two. And it would be great for the school on the east side, MacArthur, get to play a home game. The people at Lawton High would be awesome to play on that field. We think of the people who have practiced. When you look at the Will Shieldses and the James Trapps and the Dual Brewers, just in my lifetime, you can go back and people can name another 20 or 30 great athletes who've got to practice on that field. Wouldn't it be great if we actually played a game and could invite some of those people back to see a game played on their practice field? So those are the things we look forward for our student and our athletes to create more opportunities. Just as esports is kicking off, we've talked about that. That's just exploded in our district. And I know we signed up, the OSSA's kind of finally expanded where we could get involved. Hopefully that goes well. But I know that we have a lot of kids that compete in esports, and so that's that's exciting to see where that goes this year.
And the academic team, I just saw a post about them and traveling out. So lots of
Lawton High's qualifying for state, so we have academic teams, and we still do swimming and some of those things. And so, again, creating those opportunities, whether opportunities we can. And if we don't offer it, or if we don't, and even more so academically, or the classes students need to meet a goal or to get where they want to be, as a parent, if we don't offer it, ask us. We can say no just because we can't make it happen, but this because we we will work hard to make it happen, because that's our ultimate goal, is to create an opportunity or offer any course students need to become life-ready graduates.
Now, coming up soon and next week is our coin challenge.
Oh, yes,
change
our
challenge.
elementaries. You know, first
Yes.
of all, the foundation does this. Listen, it is one of the greatest. Oh, we have such a great foundation.
We do.
I believe right before Christmas, it was well over $100,000 they gave our teachers in grants. That's a lot of money. And they just keep raising more and more money. So, you know, if your student's asking for some coins, send them to school with your coins, let them throw them in there. And they use that money
Dig into your
again.
couch.
Yeah, dig into the couch. So,
Yes.
yeah, if your kids are at home cleaning out your couch, they're just not trying to be, they're trying to find some coins, not trying to be nice. But again, it supports our foundation, and the Lawton Public Schools Foundation is very strong, and they do so much for our teachers. And as we know, you know, our teachers are the backbone of what goes on at Lawton Public Schools.
We have a great staff all around. Our custodians are checking our buildings,
yes.
our support staff, and our teachers are
How
doing
about
an
our
amazing
bus
job.
drivers today? They had to get out and drive a bus in this, and it was so cold. You know,
Yeah.
those buses were cold. I'm just glad they started. And buses are hard to get warm, but they had to get up here early, get their buses warmed up, so try to keep our students as warm as possible.
Correct, sir. Now, anything else? I know yesterday, we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
Day, and we have a video that our teachers, our staff, and our students, you know, produced. And
Yes, very
that'll be
excited about
tonight.
that. Yeah, that's coming out tonight.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
On our YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe so that you can catch that. What else celebrations would you like to mention?
Well, again, it's that time of year. Again, look at the webpage, lawtonps.org. Go to your site, make sure you're seeing what's going on at your child's site or your school, and then look at the district's events going on. And also, if you got questions, suggestions, things you look at, info@lawtonps.org. I really think we answer all those, and we try to make those happen. So don't think it's just something that gets ignored. It gets passed around to the right people, and we all look at it, and we do follow up to make sure that we're trying to solve the problems or answer the questions.
Correct. Yes, sir. We do. We want your input. We want to hear from you guys. Again, like and subscribe to our social media pages and district notifications. Mr. Hime will be back tomorrow. It's going to be a cold one, but the temperatures look like it goes up. So we're happy to be here.
Tomorrow should be the last morning that's really miserable, and I'm sure some will stay home tomorrow because they'll take advantage of it. But after that, hopefully we get everybody back in school, because we believe wholeheartedly that face-to-face learning is the way to go. We just want to make sure we offer that other option when face-to-face is not the option parents want that day. So we're excited that it's great to have some cold weather. We'll be glad to see it warm back up, where we can get back outside and sit on the porch, watch soccer practice or baseball practice, or all the other events going on. So,
all right, Mr. Hime, thank you so much for joining us. Next week we have special guests, so you'll definitely want to tune into that as we bring our students back.
Yes.
All right. Until then, you guys be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and stay warm. See you next time.